those ones. So when we see them, we believe that they are the epitome of good wives, the wives that every man will want to have. And like we said, sometimes those women, when some men look at them, the men will go home and start quarreling with their wives, using them as examples, like role model, asking their wives why they cannot be like those women. Why? Because those women, they look good, they relate well with people out there, they comport themselves well, and you can literally want to be like them or be with them. So we call them holy wives. But the clause there is that most of them have their husbands abandoned. And we say that abandoning their husband is all about not being with their husbands, not giving their husbands what is due them, what their husband should be given by them. Some abandon their husband even physically. They don't have time to spend. They don't spend time with their husbands. Some abandon their husbands emotionally. So when their husbands have emotional issues, they are not available. Even sexually, they abandon their husbands. So those men are even living like married eunuchs, Some of them don't even have time to take care of their husbands. Cooking for their husbands is a problem. Taking care of their husbands' appearance or things like that. But out there, they are shining out there. Everybody's looking up to them. More like, wow, wonderful women. And some women that come around them might be feeling inferior, that they are not as good as them. And they will go home sulking or, condemning themselves, judging themselves that are not good enough, And those women, when they go to places of work, they are outstanding, they are shining, they are doing this and that. But at home, they are not what they are supposed to be. So we try to find out what could be the cause. The other time we said that maybe some of them, ab initio, never loved the men they married. They married out of circumstance. They married out of need, out of demand, or maybe for personal reasons. But as per loving them, loving their husbands did not come to their mind at all. Maybe they needed somebody that would take care of the bills. They needed somebody to help them achieve some things. They felt that they were already due to get married, and if anybody they wanted was not coming around, so the men that came out, they just marry, maybe sometimes out of pressure. So they had so many reasons why they married their husbands, but loving their husband was not there. We also say that some of them, maybe they married their husbands because in their minds they said they were doing the will of God, not that their will was involved there. They just felt like honoring God. So as it is now, based on their own understanding and exposure, that the only option for them in marriage was that particular person, and they said let them obey God. They didn't love the man, but they felt they were loving God by marrying the man. And sometimes they will say, maybe after, the love of God in me will help me to love him. But most times they find out that it's not working out. Some also, we realize that they don't give their husbands attention, maybe because of the things they are pursuing in life, maybe academically in their place of work, maybe pursuing contracts, maybe the purpose, what is driving them, the vision driving them is not allowing them to give their husbands attention. Some of them are even in ministry. There are lots of programs, going for conferences, retreats, going on the mountain to fast, going to crusade conferences, retreats, night vigil, meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings. So most times they don't even have time again for their husbands. Even if when they come home and the husband wants to stay with them, but they are so tired, their heads are aching them, that they are not feeling good and all the stuff. So it becomes a problem. We also have those that, not because of ministry, not because of their involvement, they have pains that their husbands have caused them, and they decided to move on with their lives. They decided to gather their lives and move. So many of them were abused. So many of them were maltreated by their husbands when they were coming up. And at that, they didn't, they couldn't manage the pains. They decided to heal. They decided to move on with their lives, and their husbands may never, will not be having them as he used to have them. Understand? Okay, so Then we talked about so many other things. We also say that some of them, because of the exposure they got, because of the growth, because of the growth that started taking place in their lives after they got married, they noticed that, in fact, significantly there is a gap between them and their husbands. And some husbands too have not been able to meet up with the growth of those small girls they married. Those small girls, those girls they were looking down on, they have now grown, they have opened eyes, they have known so many things, they have been influenced, they have been exposed to things, and they now see things differently, not reasoning the way they were reasoning the time they were brought into the marriage. So things changed, and like Bible says, they don't find pleasure in some of the things their husbands are dishing out, and it becomes a challenge. And we are here this moment to see how we can correct that, because our husbands need us. This is your family this week with Precious Caleb. I'm your friend, and it's my desire that your relationship will work, your marriage will be sweet, and your home will be peaceful. That is why today we are bringing conclusion to this series we started weeks ago on the holy wives of the abandoned husbands. All right, so in conclusion, what am I supposed to do, or what are we supposed to do, or what are the women there supposed to do so that their husbands will not be abandoned again? Number one, I have this for you. You must realize that you are a gift from God to your husband. Please take your pen, take your paper, and write it down. Say, I am a gift from God to my husband. So if you begin to see yourself as a gift God has given your husband, you will change your attitude. You will change the way you live with your husband. So when your work is keeping you busy, when your pursuit of contracts is keeping you busy, when religious activities are keeping you busy, when influence on social media or influence from people out there is keeping you busy, when what your husband did to you in the past is paining you and is keeping you away from your husband, just come to yourself right now and tell yourself, I am a good gift from God to my husband, so I just have to be that gift. And if God gives your husband a gift, the Bible said that gift from God, they are good, they are perfect. You understand? The gift from God is always good. So if you see yourself as a gift from God, you try and make sure that you are a good gift, because it's expected of you to be a good gift from God to your husband. If you give me a gift, I should be proud of that gift. I should be enjoying the gift, and I should know how to take care of the gift. So that means that you should see yourself as a good gift from God, as a good gift from God to your husband. At that, you will not disappoint God. You will make God proud. You make God proud. So that when say, now God give me God will look down and say, this my daughter is doing well. You understand now? So let it be that somebody will look at your husband. It's not about the validation people outside are giving. Let your husband from his heart say, my wife, now gifts from God to me. Now God dash me. Gift is dash dash. Let your husband say, I don't deserve my wife. I don't deserve my wife. But now God decided to give me. And how do you do that? The way you relate with him. Yes, the way you relate with him. Let your husband look at you and say, child, now gift from God. Not because of what you're doing outside, not because of the accolades outside, not because of the praises, not because of how they are singing of your goodness and your good works and all the stuff outside. Let your own husband, from his heart, without deceiving people or being truthful, or let him be truthful by saying that this, my wife, is a gift from God. And every gift from God is good, perfect, blameless, without spot, without regret. Did you get that? So begin to see yourself as a gift God gave your husband. And if God gave you to your husband as a gift, you should not bring him pain. You will not bring him sorrow. You will not be away from him, because you are tied to him as a gift. And he owns you. He owns you. That's it. He owns you. So see yourself as a gift that God gave your husband. Number 2 is this: you are a reward from God to your husband. So as not just as a gift God gave your husband, tell yourself that you are a reward though. So if you are not doing well, then it means that you are a bad reward God has given your husband. If you are doing well, you are a good reward God has given your husband. So I want you to picture yourself here now and ask yourself, the way my husband sees me, not just as a gift from God, from this angle, is my husband seeing me as a good gift, as a good reward from God, or as punishment? Because sometimes rewards can be in the negative, sometimes in the positive. So when reward is given to somebody in a place of work, it could be like promotion or demotion. Sometimes the person will be forced on transfer. Maybe the person will be sent to another place. So sometimes the reward might not be pleasant. Reward also might be motivational. So when your husband looks at you, my dear, ask yourself, yes, I'm a reward to my husband, but as it is right now, am I a good reward or am I a bad reward? Me being with my husband, me being married to my husband, is it giving him pains? Yes. Is it giving him joy? There are so many of them. They are going through all these things. They won't be able to say, maybe because of the status, the post, the positions, their personalities also. So you won't even hear from their mouth what they are going through. But deep down in them, they are saying, God, why did you decide to reward me with this type of woman? Because the Bible said that they that diligently seek him, God is a rewarder. So the man will say, so God, with all my services to you, so now, so you take this one, can't reward me. What do I do when you never forgive me? Or somebody will say, God will say, your husband will say, now God decided to reward me. I tell you, I served God in my youthful age. I did this to God, and God said, in all, let me reward him with this. And God gave me this wife as a good reward. So tell yourself that you are a reward from God to your husband. Then you now decide whether you will be a good reward or a bad reward. Then the next, I want you to say, number 3, please, you take your pen, write it down. Say that the enemy is not really interested in you. The enemy is actually after your husband. Some women do not know. If you go through the scriptures, you discover that most times it will be excluding the women and the children. Excluding the women and the children. It will always be men, 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 men. My husband one day said that in the Bible we have Hebrew and not Shebrew. Yes, and most times when we are talking about God, we use pronoun he and not she. At that, it should tell you that there is something about the male gender, whether we believe it or not, in the agenda of God and the target of the enemy. You see, the problems in the village, the problems in the family, it's not just about you. Even when your mother-in-law is after you, even when your people in the village are after you, everybody is after you, the main target is your husband. Let me tell you. That is why I tell women, when you're getting married, don't think you're just going there to fold your hands and paint your nails and stand and be watch and be enjoying eating and be watching television. You are there as a helpmeet, because there is that part of your husband that only you can take care of. You understand? And there are things that your husband may not know of. So if they want to get at your husband, they will first of all want to remove you. So the target is not you. It's not you. Why are we having so many widows? Those that have lost their husbands. The target is the men. The target is the men. So most times, what the enemy does is to try to frustrate the women, to make the women see more of the bad things their husbands have done, or even open way, or just make their husbands, fuel their husbands into doing bad things, so that the women will withdraw. The women will withdraw their support. You understand now? The company they keep, the advice, the prayers they make, and all the observations they put around their husband, and they will just leave their husband and say, hey, let them do what they want to do now. Person will go hear something. You tell them something, they go do. Make them do what they want to do now. And the husband will be doing what he won't do. And like that, the enemy will destroy him. So why not see that in this matter of marriage, the target is not you as a woman. The target is your husband. So all those frustrating things happening to you, all those emotional tantrums, all those abuse and all the stuff, all those things happening to you, it's not about you. It's just to take you off track so that they will finish your husband. Are you getting me now? Yes. So that you slumber, so that you become cold towards him and towards things you're supposed to do to him. And the enemy will gladly capture him. But you know now, today, you open your eyes and say, never. I'm not going to abandon my husband again, no. I've seen now that I am a gift from God to my husband. I'm a reward, and I decide to be a good reward. Number 3, the devil is not really after me on this matter. The enemy is after my husband. And he just wants to frustrate me to get offended so that I will abandon my husband and he will come and take him. The enemy will not take my husband, will not have access to my husband. Did you get that? If you have this understanding, then you see that it doesn't make sense abandoning your husband. Don't forget, this is your family this week with Precious Caleb. And today we are looking at the conclusion of all we have been saying before over the holy wives of the abandoned husbands. All right, we'll give you number 4. Number 4 point is this: your husband needs you even though he thinks he doesn't. Need is different from desire. Need is different from want. So most times, your husband may not admit that he needs you. Sometimes he'll be acting as if you don't even matter. You understand? But the truth is that he needs you. Our men have ego. They have lots of pride. And we'll forgive them. Because we have seen that some of them, the enemy just wants to destroy them. So lots and lots of ego and pride. Do you know who I am? Do you know I am the head of this family? Do you know I married you as if I didn't know? Do you know I paid your bride price before uncle? I'm the man. Now, you know, they'll just be doing like this. And when you want to suggest something, they'll say my word is the final. You understand now? As if they don't need you. And if they listen, you know, with style, that suggestion you're giving them, they will not admit in your presence that they have taken it. They will go behind, refine that suggestion and use it. They will be acting as if they don't need you, but they need you. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. All these drag our husbands are doing as if they don't need us. They need us. You must know it that your husband needs you. Even when he's doing as if, what is it? You're not as educated as he is. You're not as polished as you should. You are not this, you're not that. Forget it too. He knows that he needs you. Anytime you're not around, he's restless. Forget about him putting up face like he's just busy from one meeting to the other, busy from one business contract to another, going to work, keeping himself busy, going out with friends. That vacuum is there. He needs you badly. But the enemy will make them to do as if they don't need us. And we just feel like, okay, they don't need me. I go to where they need me. Our husbands need us. But sometimes they act as if they don't need us. But we know. So my fellow women, today, I want us to turn like this and say, they act as if they don't need us. I've seen now that they need me. If you don't know any other reason why they need you, know that they need you, although they deny it because the enemy is after them. And they need you to be on your knees. They need you to be on guard for them. They need you to give them advice, whether they will admit that the advice makes sense or not. They need you to wait some stuff from them. They need you to get the signal of the wrong person coming around them, coming after them, coming to them, coming through them, coming by them, whatever it is. They know that they need you. Because there are sometimes they will come. They'll feel like telling you as it is. Because you are the only person that they know that can tell them the truth. Because there's so much at stake now. They have a lot in that marriage and in that family. So you'll be protecting. You understand? So they know that you say the whole truth. You give them the right advice, but they just act like this. May not be like, say, they small like that. You know, that kind of thing. But don't mind them. Just don't mind them. They know. but sometimes they act as if they don't need us. All right, so put it down. I've given you 4 points, right? The 5th one is that your husband has different persons in him. I know somebody will say, Mama, but why now? Your husband has different persons in him. Did you hear me so? Your husband, sometimes what is in him is that little baby that wants you to rub his head, touch his baby, rub his back, massage his leg, beat him on the back and say, Sometimes some will even accept to be called baby. A full grown man will just smile like this. You understand? Your husband has different persons living in him. A baby is in him. That will just be like, me, I don't want to eat this one. I want to eat this one. Do you know sometimes, your husband will come and you'll be wondering whether now that grown man you married or a small boy. Sometimes, common headache like this, your husband will be shivering like small junior. Is it not true? Sometimes small fever like this, everywhere in the house will be shaking. You carry his leg up, you carry his leg. Common fever, common fever. Now to swallow drugs, anti-malaria drugs, everybody will gather. They will hold the cup for him. This one will go hold the paracetamol. This one will hold this one. And they will be begging him. They hold him like this. That when he roars, everybody in the house will hide. Don't worry. Don't forget that there is that person in him, inside him, that is a child, a baby. So, when you have a baby and your baby misbehaves, will you abandon the baby? So sometimes when he misbehaves, carry his head, put the head here, and be patting him on the back. Say, I go throw away you. I'm not going to throw away my baby now. Not that you gave birth to him, but just see that there is an aspect of him. There is that person in him that's like a baby. With that, you will not abandon him. When he does all he does, just say, is that small boy in him? Is that baby in him that is doing? Not that understanding, mature, educated, enlightened, tongue-talking, Holy Ghosted, jin. Not that one. Is that child, is that small child in him that is doing this one? So you just hold him and not abandon him. Inside him also is that young man that wants you to admire him, to tell him that he's a happening bobo. You understand? Is that fine boy without pimples? Is that fine bobo where they turn girls' eyes like this? Inside your husband is that man where today pose. Now him be the barber. Now they happen for town. You understand? That one that want you to, spray perfume here, say, man, you too fine. If no be you, I for born what picking full everywhere. If no be so I marry you, I for no to shop like this. That kind of man is living inside your husband though. Yes, that man that when he dresses, he will just take style and come around you and say, please, button this my shirt. He just wants you to like tell him you look so fine and give him a peck here or kiss him. Piam, fine man. Oh, you boom. Oh, you boom. Packaging mo. Vitamin C. Vijumecum. That kind of thing. That particular person inside your husband though. Forget about that time he's in rababa shatata likapata bakwankete mekwenu man after everything. That is that person in your husband that wants him, to be applauded by you all the time, as if you will be standing and be posing for photograph all the time. Yes, that's him, that's in him that will make him to. Sometimes you want to be on jeans and be doing boyoyo, imokwandaibo. You understand my point? So that is it. That aspect, that person in your husband is there. So when he wants, sometimes if that boy, if that young man in him comes up and he may, if you're not available to be, telling him how fine he is, maybe you just be, looking for others to appreciate his looks, his fine moves and all the stuff. And he may offend you. You understand now? So the main thing is accept that person in him and be available for him, because he needs you at that time. Did you get that? Then the third person leaving your husband is that fully matured, no nonsense man. That fully matured, perfect, incorruptible, infallible man that is full of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, that knows the scripture from Genesis to Revelation, that knows grammar, that is a moving encyclopedia, moving dictionary, that knows everything in politics, in government, in religion, in tradition, in the neighborhood, knows everything about ICT, knows everything about everything. That man is inside your husband. That is why sometimes when you're telling him that this thing is like this, they say no, he will not agree. You understand now? Because that man in him no go agree. Now that you know that man is in your husband, will you abandon him? That man no they agree, oh. They agree. No, they agree. You give him the truth. Tell him that this thing is not, this thing will not work like this. That man in him will not agree. But if it's the time, the baby in him is there, they will say, "She, mommy, she is true." Say yes. If it's the time, the young boy is in him saying, okay. Oh, mom, see, if you say like that now, we'll take him like that. But when that grigri man will be the alpha and the omega of the marriage is there, no matter what you say, man will not hear. And if you don't understand that, you get angry and say, hey, I don't talk to yourself, may go do in thing. You leave him, they will come and finish him. So you get prepared. When the baby in him rises, you take care of the baby. When the big boy in him rises, you take care of the fine boy. When the Anogo green man in him rises up, you take care of that man. Did you understand now? Don't forget, this is your family, this is with Precious Caleb, and we are rounding off what we started talking on the holy wives of the abandoned husband. And we are trying to say that holy wives, please don't abandon your husband. Go back to your husband. Go back to your husband. Go back to your husband. Number one, know that you are a gift from God to your husband. Number two, know that you are a reward from God to your husband. So be a good reward. Number three, know that the enemy is not really after you. The enemy is after your husband. Number four, know that your husband needs you. Although he may be acting sometimes as if he doesn't need you. Number five, know that there are different persons living in your husband. At least about 3 persons. The child, the big boy, the big fine boy, and the I no go gree man. Did you get that? I give you number 16. Now, what you're supposed to do now is that you should understand that your husband needs your company. One of the reasons why God brought you into his life is to keep him company. God came to that place and looked at man and said, it's not good for a man to be alone. That this man needs company. So because the man needs company, God did not give him animal. God did not give him tree. God did not give him any other thing. God decided to make him to sleep and brought you out from him and gave him. Have you seen it now? So even if when you're not there, when you're not keeping company, he may want to keep himself company with television, with internet, with drinks, with food, with outsiders, with his family members, with anything, with newspapers also. But it cannot be like when you are there. So God looked at all those things and said, these things might be good, but no, not as good as I. So let me just make him a helpmeet. So keep him company. So tell yourself, whether my husband understands or not, I'm there to keep him company. And the truth is that when you keep your husband company, the best in him begins to come out. I tell you. So don't abandon your husband. Go back to him. Go back to him. You don't need to spend your time keeping another person's husband company. Keep another man company. Go and take care of your own husband. Go and take care of your own husband. Keep your husband company. Just keep your husband company. You understand? Keep him company because he needs you. God looked at you and noticed that you are the only person that can keep him company perfectly and decided to give you to him as a gift. So don't abandon him. Be there as a gift God has given him to keep him company. If he's to laugh with him, laugh with him. If he's to play with him, play with him. Even sometimes, you even need to stay there and do small quarrel with him. He say, yes, so. Yes, so. Sometimes quarrel is sweet for marriage. Did you understand? Yes. Quarrel is sweet because there are some things you cannot tell your husband except 2 of you start quarreling. Say, that is why every morning you when you want to kiss me, your mouth is smelling garlic, ginger. You cannot even brush your mouth. Where your husband will say, so this is one of the reasons why I'm having problem in this marriage. Are you getting it now? Hey, so it is the reason, and he will go and change, because ordinarily you may not tell him. So sometimes be there when there is it for you to say, and every time you will be spending money, and be giving people, you will not give me. Your husband will notice that, be like, say, the way they spend money, no, they help in marriage. She understand now, and you begin to change, you begin to switch. So you just need to be there for him. Even when he is like the company is not favoring you, be there because you're there on assignment. Don't forget, you are a gift from God to him. You are a reward, and he needs you. And there are so many persons in him, and the enemy is interested in bringing him down, destroying him, and you're the obstacle for the enemy there. Okay. All right. The seventh one is that what your husband becomes likely depends on you. Yes. What your husband becomes likely depends on you. Did you get that? What became of Adam in the Garden of Eden, to an extent, depended on the attitude or the actions of the wife. So if you want your husband to maintain the garden, mind what you do. Be around him. Be sensitive. Know what to do, what to say, no company to keep. If you spend more time with your husband, there may not be time for serpent to come and be gisting with you. So if he's not coming to you, go to him. Because there is always serpent in the neighborhood, in the garden, that is looking for an opportunity to come and keep you company and begin to interact with you. And as you interact with that serpent, that subtle animal, that subtle person, that clever neighbor, that clever colleague, that clever church member, that clever family member, will begin to get information from you. And the information they get from you, they will use against you and against your husband. And you notice that the target in that garden was Adam. It wasn't about Eve, because eventually God looked at Adam and said, what have you done? It wasn't even the woman. Did you understand that? And the man lost the garden, and God started looking for what to do. Thank God for the second, of course, the last Adam that came and brought us back to garden. Hallelujah. So the point is this: just know it, that your husband becomes anything in life. Becoming anything in life largely depends on you. So will you keep quiet? Will you abandon him? In ministry, many are against him. They are jealous of him. They are complaining of his incompetencies. They talk down on him. They criticize him. They set trap for him. They set panels from time to time. They bombard him in his place of work. Queries and queries, cautions and cautions, short payment of salary, delays in payment, some incentives not given, and things like that. So many things happening. Will you abandon him? Will you abandon him? From his family side, they are throwing arrows that are trying to drag his property from him, the land, the portions belonging to him. They are conspiring against him. They are deceiving him. They are giving him advice. I'm asking you, will you abandon him? Will you abandon him? Whatever he becomes largely lies in your hands as a wife. So when you have this understanding, as they do, they carry your chair, they sit down, gidigba, because you know that this weapon, that this battle is not about what we are seeing with our eyes, that you are fully prepared for it, and the enemy is not going to take your husband from you, will not destroy your husband, and your husband will excel. When they rise up against him, let it be that you are there. He messed up, he did nonsense, and they have come after him, they want to destroy him. Be the only one standing by him. Did he misbehave? Yes. Did he steal money? Did he do this one? So what is your own? He did all those things, but he's still my husband. What? Yes, so he dey drink, he dey fall inside gutter. But na my husband. Muna leave am there for me. He no get money. He give am money, go squander for business. My brother, my sister, na true. But he's still my husband. Did you understand that? Yes. And leave am for me. Last, all of us will go make progress. If you no get money today, tomorrow never finish. If you no build house today, Cement never finish. People where they mow block, waiting they do. They mow block when you come by. If you never go school today, don't worry now. Schools never close. Even at old age, he still goes, if he goes school. If he sit down for herself, they go school. So I'm gonna leave my husband like that for me. Did you understand now? Yes. So tell yourself that whatever my husband becomes lies in my hands to a greater percentage. Don't forget, this is your family this week with Precious Caleb, and today we are rounding off the series we started on the holy wives of the abandoned husbands, and we have given you 7 things to do. Then the 8th one is that your husband is built to offend you from time to time. Just tell yourself that your husband is not perfect. Of course, you know that you too, you're not perfect. Your wahala full ground like this. The day will begin to mention your wahala, you wife, your wahala too much. Sometimes you might they brush mouth well. Sometimes they bath well. You wife, sometimes they clean house well. Sometimes no sabi cook. Sometimes they too lazy to cook. Sometimes your matter full ground. So the way they do well, now so you go give your husband space. Say if you no do well, finish. The way you're not perfect, now so your husband no perfect. So tell yourself that your husband is bound to make mistakes. Tell yourself that husband can offend you from time to time. Even Jesus said that offense must occur. That offense that must come. Jesus did not tell us that it must come from every other person except from your husband. So when Jesus said that offense must come, that includes even your husband, that offense can come from your husband. So what's your problem? Didn't you know that? Didn't Jesus tell you? When Jesus said in this world you have tribulation, did he tell you where the tribulations will come from? If you marry an unbelieving husband, that when you're speaking in tongues he's angry, offense will come. Don't expect him to change overnight. You stay there. You marry a man that doesn't want to go to school, offense must come. He's offending you with his grammar. He's offending you with his way of reasoning. Yes, but you'll be there. Tell yourself that offense must come. That my husband cannot give me all I need in a man. That is a plain truth. Your husband cannot be tall and be short at the same time. Your husband cannot be fat and slim at the same time. Your husband cannot be educated and illiterate at the same time. And there are some funny things you can get from an illiterate husband. There are some boring things you can get from an educated husband. Sometimes the educated husband will want everything to be perfect. When you're gisting with him, he will be correcting your English. No, it is not, I went to school. I went to the school. You speak this guy and say, no, it is not pronounced work. It is pronounced work. You say, so there are some boring things, annoying things that can even come from educated husbands. So manage that your husband will not sabi speak English, that will speak wrong grammar with boldness, with so much alacrity, and you will laugh. You'll laugh because of his mistakes. You laugh at his mistakes, and at least your BP they normal. So what is it? Your husband cannot be perfect. Your husband can come and dress nonsensically and even embarrass you in the public. He didn't zip up very well. He did not sit very well. While eating in the public, he poured soup on his body. Now. When your husband becomes perfect, God will take him from this planet Earth. So don't even think that the people that you're seeing that are smiling, that are hugging their wives and their husbands in public, that theirs are all perfect. It is not true. Everybody has something that is a prayer point in his heart or her heart about the spouse. So you manage your own well. Don't come and carry your own things in our own worse past everybody. Everybody gets something where they keep them awake sometimes. But in they carry tongues and grace of God, they cover them. They move forward. So you package well now and pack well. It's just a matter of you understanding that your husband has plenty offense in his pocket, and you go to come out them small. You go to come out and sometimes go carry them like full package like this and throw at you. And what will you do? When you went there, you didn't go and pack your things after a few months, after a few years, and go back to your father's house. You went there to spend your life with him. Now. Yes. So why would you want enemy to throw you out because of offense? As in they do. Carry your knees, carry your brain, carry your wisdom, carry your understanding of marriage, carry the grace of God, plus Holy Ghost and the powerful tongues where you go to blast on top of the matter, correct the scenario, correct the matter. You understand now? And your husband brain goes set like this in the Holy Ghost, and everything will be going well, Sarah. And you just say, the way in they talk, in they vex me, as he vex you finish, may you sit down there. Because that place na your domot, na your kingdom. You know they live on for anybody. Sam, Even those where him bring around, say make them comot you. Tell them say you turn down for ground. And Jesus, the Bible said that your foot will not be moved. And God said dress it and keep it. As you they dress that your marriage, you they keep them. I know they go anywhere. If you keep the thing where you know they there for, no, you go there keep them. Did you understand? Don't forget, this is your family. This week with Precious Caleb, and we are rounding off our discussion on the holy wives of the abandoned husband. The two things I have for you, and we are done for the day, are this. Number 9. Number 9 is that you make your husband your priority, to be updating him and upgrading him. Yes, like we said, your offense must come from your husband. And I mentioned that it could be because he's not that educated, he's not exposed, he doesn't know how to dress, he doesn't know how to tidy, he's not too shin up, you know. So what are you supposed to do? Update him. Let him know what's on ground now. Upgrade him. Help him to come up. You understand? Hey, your husband, he didn't go to school. Why not enroll him in school? Or if you cannot afford enroll him in school, or there is no money to take him to school, when you come back, spend time to teach your husband. Teach him noun, teach him verb, teach him grammar, teach him osmosis, teach him integrated science. Be teaching him those things. If you think you are educated enough, your education should be impacted on your husband. So impact your husband what you know. Yes. Let your husband know dressing. Let your husband know different states in the country. Let your husband know what is different between capital and headquarters. Yes, your husband doesn't know things about the things of God. Now you get work now. Begin to teach him by your lifestyle, by your words, by the things you do, by the way you lay with him. Yes, upgrade him, update him and upgrade him. Don't update him and abandon him there. As you are updating your husband, please be upgrading him so that we'll meet up with the dates for the moment. The Lord bless you. The last one I have for you here is that please you should pray for your husband. Pray for your husband. Pray about your husband. Pray for your husband. Pray about your husband. Get on your knees and kabash in the Holy Ghost. Because there are so many wars, battles raging around and about your husband. And you are the closest person that can defend him. Yes. You are the one that knows exactly. Sometimes your husband spent like 20 or 30 years, 40 years with the parents or outsiders. But coming to you, two of you have become one. That you have mingled so much in him. You are in him, he is in you. So there is nothing about him that is not available for you. He cannot hide anything from you. Even if he's trying to hide, by the reason of the covenant of two of you becoming one, every part of him is known to you in the realm of the spirit. His heart, his chest, his intestine, everywhere, his brain, everywhere is mixed up with yours. So he cannot hide anything from you. If you understand your position and you operate in the realm of the spirit, you bend down on your knees and you command his future to be treated. You summon his future. You summon his enemies. Those that are waiting for him in 10 years to come, 20 years to come, you summon them ahead of time and place them where they belong. Yes, so those that are, sometimes we may not share some testimonies here, but I tell you that the prayer you pray for your wife, your husband, is even stronger than the one his pastor prays for him. Quote me anywhere. If you pray for your husband from your heart, that prayer, 99.9% of that prayer is answered. That is why I tell women, I beg, no pray that prayer against your husband. Because the forces behind women are too many that if they pray against their husband, the man go to do left, right, march forward, 1 step, 20 steps backwards. But I tell people, that particular energy, channel that energy to pray for your husband. In the realm of the spirit, bend your knees, stand in the morning, stand in the night, make declarations, vibrate in the Holy Ghost, vibrate everywhere. Let them know that a praying woman is around. Let powers, let forces around know that there are things they cannot do. There are things they cannot bring to your domot. There are things they cannot tamper around you because you are fully prepared. You're fully prepared. You are fully prepared. You pray and arrange things in the realm of the spirit, and they'll begin to manifest physically. I tell people, marriage is not 50% physical, 50%. There are so many people that have 100% physical material to bring to table in marriage, but there is nothing in that their marriage working. But those that in the realm of the spirit said, underneath are everlasting arms, control things. They control things. And it be like, say, now juju didn't do. Why is it that some people, no matter how good they are, how fine they are, how this they are, somebody will just go and do one small juju like this and come and scatter their marriage? And you don't know those that are visiting places, visiting altars, those that are tampering with your wedding pictures, those that are viewing you and your husband online from time to time. You don't know those that are mentioning your name at junctions. You don't know those that are strip themselves naked in the middle of the night and are calling your name. You don't know those that are you don't know those that put some door baby. They'll carry this and say, this is your husband, this you, and be choking you people like this. You think those things don't? No. If you're in a part of the world where everything is easy, I'm not from the part of the world where everybody is innocent. I'm from that part of the world. In fact, that part of the country itself, we are not denying they take survive in the realm of the spirit. They no agree negatively. We know they agree positively. Are you understand that? So you need to pray for your husband and tell yourself, I am here and I'm in charge. And as I pray, God hears me. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. May the Lord make you the holy wife of happy husband. May your husband find peace. May your husband find peace. Be married to you. And may your husband see you as a good gift, a good reward from God to him. May your husband be the one that will tell the world of how good you are to him. Let it be that truly the need your husband has on you, that you are making the needs to be met. The Lord bless you. Receive the strength to pray for your husband. Receive the strength to love and stand by your husband. Receive the grace to forgive your husband. Yes, receive the grace to accommodate him. Receive the grace to accept the fact that your husband is infallible. Receive the grace to intercede for him. Receive wisdom to manage the persons in your husband, the little child, the big boy, and the perfect man. Receive the grace, and may God reward you as a great woman that has preserved his son, in the name of Jesus. God bless you. My name is Precious Caleb. I'm your friend. And from Family on Focus International, I come your way from time to time. Apart from so many other programs within Family on Focus International, our target is that your relationship will work, your marriage will be sweet, and your home will be peaceful. At that, we come from time to time to reach out to the singles, the married, the separated, the divorced, and the widows. And we are trusting God that in all, you will rejoice. The Lord bless you. Till when next I come your way, don't forget, I love you. Mwah.